everyone, and welcome back to In a Nutshell. Yay! The place where we unpack the chaos and the inner workings of Gen Z one episode at a time. Today we are joined with two new guests, Inzo, Jiaxuan, and Elmer, who has seen a lot of interns. So we'll hear a lot from them later. But first up, can you guys introduce yourself a little bit so that our audience can get to know you?
I'm Yenzo, so I'm currently a year 3 student in NUS. Yes, in my free time, I acted and directed for my school CCA, like theatre CCA.
What's the most embarrassing role that you have acted?
I would say either an animal, like to act as like a fox before. If not, I have to act as a stalker, like a creepy stalker. That was quite. It was interesting.
You got stalker face.
Don't have lah.
I
But hopefully, that's the point of acting lah. To act as something I'm not lah. So.
Hi, I'm Jiaxuan, and I'm currently a year 2 NUS student. Fun fact about myself is I don't like bubble tea, so yeah.
Oh, okay, rare.
Rare Gen
Not bad,
Z.
Okay, and I'm Elmer. Sometimes people in this office call me Ban because my surname is Lau, so it's Lao Ban.
Yes, Laura. Okay. Yes, today the topic is about internships and internship. There has been such a great push for many students to take up internship at a very young age. Many Gen Z I know, and even Gen Alphas, like they have been cramming internship like secondary school, even primary school also here internship is insane. Alright, so today and today we're gonna hear the good, the painful, and the why am I doing this in my internship? Okay, all of this. Hopefully, we can hear some of that in our episodes today. Okay, before we dive into the horror and the not so horror stories, we hear of this term that's going around. It's called internship stacking. You know, it's going around like all the tertiary institute and everything. And what are your opinions on that? And actually, how many internships have you all done before? We start with the Gen Z first, okay? Then we ask the Gen X.
I think for me, I have heard of like friends or like people around me where they graduated doing like 4 internships or more already, which is low-key kind of scary because I myself I've only done 2 internships in my whole entire life. So it's kind of scary. It kind of feels like a rat race where you're kind of like left out or like you're lacking behind. So yeah, I don't know. For me, I think quantity versus quality of the internship as well. Because like for I guess in a portfolio where you see you have done so many internships, it's like wow, like quite impressive. But then again, I have some friends that who have done internship, right? They do admin work or they do things that they are not don't find it very rewarding or they don't have any like skill sets that they have learned.
I think actually like what Jia Jun said, I actually came back from reservice like a week ago, right? And one of the main topics inside was about internships.
Wow.
Because all my friends were talking about all the internships they done. Like it's not just like for me I just did 2 in my whole life and like in uni I only did 1 in the summer. But I've had friends who've done year 1 sem 2, year 2 sem 1, summer and year 2 sem 2 and year 3 sem 1. So it's 5 already. And they are still year 3. Like they do it every sem. So
They okay
but
or not?
I don't know lah, but I think it's more for them. It's like also within their own fields lah. I think I understand that the culture there is quite like heavy. Like it's quite heavy on the stacking of internships. Like I think what you said about like looking good on your portfolio. And I guess like when I think about stacking, I think it's not like objectively a bad thing, but I think it's only a bad thing if people are just doing it for the sake of like looking good or like being busy or like just doing an internship because my CV I can put more things down. But I think at the end of the day, like if you find yourself in a position where you're like not doing anything particularly productive for yourself, like you're not learning much or you don't even enjoy it, so you're just like toiling away for like 4 months doing like something you don't want to do, then I think that's a bad thing lah. But I feel like the time spent there could be better spent doing something else that could be more helpful for you. Yeah.
I think from a employer point of view, right? Yeah, from the Lao Fan point of view, right? It's like if you see a lot of potential employee, and all of them are showing you like, oh, stacks of internship that, I got 4 internship, I got 5, I got 10, it's after a while, it's not the number that's going to stand out, right? After a while, I'm going to really look at actually what's the quality of the internship. What do you really do in the internship that matters more than just how many you are doing? Okay, this one is personal, more from my own view. I feel that internship is not the only way to show about who you are and what kind of skills that you have. I mean, I'm really open if someone were to write that I actually spend time, maybe I spend a couple of months as one of the main caregiver for my grandparent or for my parent who is not so healthy. To me, that speaks volumes about the character of this person who will take time out to do that. So I think if employers or HR are a little bit more discerning, I think they will look beyond that. So I feel that those who may not have the opportunity to stack so many internship because of their situations whatsoever, I feel that whatever it is, turn your experiences to tell a story about who you are, your skill, your character.
Which means that you really need to know how to showcase yourself with or without internship. Maybe one question for Lao Ban, I'm curious. If let's say somebody come, right, and they have 0 internship, like they just went through uni or they went through poly and then internship, no part-time work experience, no internship.
Yeah.
Does it like minus like some points for you?
I think the first thing I would wonder is, since this person did not go and chase all the internship, right? What did this person do meanwhile? Because that can be very telling as well. It may be a certain passion. It may be a certain, I volunteer for, this social cause. So I did not do part-time work or internship, but I'm actively volunteering. And that tells something about that person.
Or I 做过. Okay.
Yeah, I also tell something about the person.
Okay, all right. So now we're going to do a quick questions. Okay, so just keep your answers a bit short. Okay, let's start with the chaos part. So every internship has a moment that flips your brain upside down. So let's take us back to your very first day of internship. Okay, Elma, you can think back about yours.
Oh, it was
Mine.
very
His memory very good.
Dig deep
Memory
into
good.
拉出来。
Okay,
History.
Okay, you think,回忆杀. What was your first day experience for your internship? First day.
So my first ever internship or like practicum was actually in an early childhood setting. So I was located in a preschool center. I remember my first day, the moment I stepped in, children were crying, teachers were like walking around, running around, trying to like settle the kids. It was super chaotic. Yeah, and I remember the moment I clocked in my hour, right, I had to like go and find my mentor who was busy settling the kids. And then I was like, oh, so what can I do? And she was like, oh, you can help to do this. I'm like, oh, okay. So it was like very chaotic, very, I don't know what was going on, but eventually I kind of figured it out. So yeah, that was my first day experience.
Oh, this one is like baptism of fire.
Straight away, first
Straight
day,
away
so-
action. Really.
Okay, my first day wasn't so chaotic. It was actually quite normal. I was also doing like early childhood related things, but it wasn't in like a particular center. But yeah, for me it was a relatively normal day, I think. But when I first came in, like it's my first ever time doing internship, I was very scared. Then I think I dressed up until super nice. Then I see everyone in the office actually never dress up until super nice. Then I look like I'm going to somebody's wedding that day, that kind of thing. Then I come out, I look very, I like Shasha. I just stare at everybody. Then I sat on my own at a table. Then end up like after like 1 hour, like another intern kind of rescued me. Say, hey, remember intern table, come and see with us. So I'm like, oh, okay, sorry, I didn't know. I thought you're all full timer. So I don't know. Because nobody brought me, like one person brought me around to show me the pantry or that, but never introduced me to anybody. Yeah, that was like, it was a very confusing day. But yeah. Then I was supposed to collect my laptop that day. Then they said the laptop not ready. But I also cannot do work on my like actual laptop, so I just sit there like zobo for the first day. I don't know why. I just like
You took both for the entire first day.
yeah, it's like cause I got no
Good
work
money,
laptop.
Just look smart lor.
Yeah.
Look smart.
Sit there look like
You look like the boss.
I think got high chance they think I VIP the intern lah. Hey, who's here? Like got conference is it? Yeah. So that was my first day.
Last time no internship lah. Last time my holiday work was go and help my father. My father was a spray painter of cars. So I've helped him, but not that I have the skill to spray paint, but my job was to go and deliver the cars that was being spray painted.
You deliver.
So your job is to
Right.
drive. Hey, that's a very
Yeah.
good job, man.
Then
Wow,
drive
I
the
would
car,
love
but
to
it's
have this
scary. It's
Cause not your
new
car.
cars and not my car. It's nicely painted.
Oh,
The
wow.
last thing you want to do is
Scratch.
to scratch or accident. Or that one will be scary. So
By scratch just U turn then paint again. Then
yeah,
go back.
I'll be slaughtered.
Okay, maybe another question would be: is there a task that was given that you absolutely hated, or like you really want to avoid? Like, please don't give me, please don't give me, please don't give me. Is there something that is like that?
Trying to think.
Think.
I don't think I had one that I hated. I think
Like
because
so
I think
diplomatic.
no, because all the internships I applied to, actually the first one I applied to, I didn't really have a lot of things to do. So it was quite like, and the things I had to do was okay. Like I more hated that I had nothing to do.
Wow.
No lah, because I was like, no, because I like, no, come back, I know, no, it's like, I just sit here and like, whole day, right, it's like, I send out one email, then I like, sit there, wait for the email come back. The whole day. Then I like, wait.
Keep refresh.
I like customer service, like, no lah. Then my other one was a research based, so I was like constantly doing research. But I think one thing that I didn't like was that sometimes I think my boss is a very early worker, so she would text me at like 5:30 a.m. and with a link to a research article saying I think this will be useful. Then I was like, imagine at 6 a.m. I wake up, I'm going like, huh? What happened? Then it's a research article, so that was quite like wow.
You're the best dresser.
That different. I learned my lesson for the second one. I dress somewhat nicely, but not too nicely first. I go and see the
culture.
No, I see what the other interns wear. Then I match their style, like the degree of style. Yeah.
I think for me in Aecon office, so sometimes I would say there's a common telephone out there, right? Can I just say, honestly speaking, I touch my heart. I honestly pray that I'll never be the one to pick up the phone. Because like sometimes it's so random and out of nowhere, right? Then it's like I pick up, then I don't know who it is. So I really don't know who to expect. So I'm praying that it's either 老板, like you, or like Auntie Sanchu, or like anyone else that I know from office, and not like some teacher
Like
that's calling in and like, oh shit, like who is this? Like who am I talking to? Like what is going on? So
marketer, director of
yeah, so I get very flustered sometimes when the office phone like kind of rings and like kind of just try to avoid it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You hate,
Well,
you hate crashing.
Well, that also when I was doing, when I was helping my father, that was before even mobile phone time, So
Wow.
in between, there's a lot of waiting time, and it's me, and I'm like the boss son who come and help drive the car. So it put me in a strange position, and then the rest of the workers, they are like Malaysians. They come here and work. They spray paint the car. So the toughest part for me was how to make conversations with people who are like quite different from me. So that's a challenge, but I think that's also a skill to learn.
That I think in every job there is something that you really didn't like or you find it very tough. There are different reasons. I think later on you can share stories on how we overcome them, or is there like after working in internship, after a while, things change, our perspective change. All right, since we have heard some of your intern survival stories, we are going to play a game. Yay! It's called Green Flag, Red Flag. Okay, so you all should have your little green and red flags. So what I'm going to do, right, is I'm going to give you a prompt. And you have to tell me instantly whether it's a red flag or a green flag. Don't be those very neutral, raise both flags one, okay? There must be fast one. Yeah? Your first prompt. Work messages after work hours. Red flag or green flag? 1, 2, 3.
We all that time. We all that kind. No need explain, just do
Great
it.
share,
No need explain. You got the green light to do it. No explanation.
So yeah, so you all are okay, so just
I thought no explanation.
Hey, this one need explain.
Okay, but no need reply lor. Like send me but don't expect me to reply. Yeah, like if
okay,
I
so that's your condition criteria.
yeah.
And sometimes okay lah on the employer side, right?
urgent.
If it's
Yeah,
urgent,
sometimes
no choice.
urgent, yes, but sometimes I can maybe understand your boss like I'm also an early worker, right? So sometimes like wow, the thing comes to
Like
my
itchy,
mind
right?
already.
Yeah.
So it's like I said, but I don't expect you to
Be on the same
reply or do it now. It's just that before I forget, I let you know.
Yeah.
But sometimes I think it's good for the employer to just put a disclaimer lah that
Yeah.
hey, you don't have to respond to it now. I'm just giving
Just
you
inform
the-
you
Yeah, just inform you in
tomorrow,
advance.
yeah.
Yeah.
So next time your alarm clock can be Albert texting you and 5 a.m.
It's Albert versus my previous intern. Boss, you text me first. see you. I keep score. See you what time they text.
Okay, next one. Casual work culture that like there's no everybody is like it's a very flat hierarchy. You know, everybody take care of everybody or everybody bosses over each other. Very casual. Everybody talk like friends. Something like that. Ready? 1, 2, 3. You like Jiaxuan?
Yeah, I like.
Don't lie.
Later I call you 姐姐 like someone.
I cannot. Well, I call me Jiaxue, I cannot. I really not.
Somewhat flat.
Okay, so everybody like a casual work culture, but how casual can it be? How casual? I don't know. Okay, yes or no. Next one. Micromanager boss. Micromanage. Okay. Red or green? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Inzo.
Why? Cannot what? I can explain.
Yeah.
I think for me as an intern need to have freedom. Like if you end up if the boss kind of tells me everything, how to do it, what to do it, then I feel like I'm not really needed anymore. Like you can just get anybody to do it. If it's just like I become assistant, but not really an intern. Like that's how I feel. It's like become PA already. Like just like do this way. There's no freedom. Then I feel like that's not right.
Since we are talking about like certain tasks during the internship really add value or help you to grow, let's talk a little bit about this. What do you think are some telltale signs or warning signs that maybe this internship is really not worth your time or really not of value? How can you tell that what tasks or the way the instructions are given that or the culture and or anything that tells you that hey, this is worth my time or this is of value or versus this is totally a waste of my time. I should move on.
I think there's two extremes of. I think the first extreme is when it's very micromanaging, like way too micromanaging, where it's like every small thing, like everything gets overseen. I think that's a very bad sign because then there's no freedom to grow, right, as an intern. Now on the other end, right, if it's too lax, like in a way like you're just kind of thrown there and then like nobody cares about you. Like the bosses all kind of do their own work, right? And then the thing that you're supposed to do, nobody comes and like guides you or gives you direction. They kind of just like so it's very directionless also at the same time. Yeah, so I think it's like a mixture of like if nobody guides you, it's very bad, and if it's too much, it's also very bad. Yeah.
But actually, this depends on the individual. Some people do need a bit or like prefer to have more directions. Some people really don't want to. So do you think that interns should speak up for themselves a lot more? If let's say they prefer this style of mentoring.
They should right? Like I think it's important
Please give me more instructions. I have nothing to do.
Yeah, I mean like as an intern is your like if you feel like you're not doing anything, then you should go. Like that's why that time in my first intern, I really thought I was not doing anything, right? I went to ask like my supervisor, like, is there anything like you need to be done that I can help you with? You know, I really just sit there whole day do nothing. I also feel like I don't know what I mean. Yeah. So it's important.
At the end of the internship, right? If I know what I have done, like not just listing out like every single task that I've done, but what exactly have I like learned from it, like values, like any working styles and stuff like that.
So would you want? So you would have to like consolidate, like like these tasks actually I learned this.
Kind of. But I think it's also more of like what have I exactly learned about myself rather than just the task that I've done. Yeah, because I think like working style, learning how to like work with other people as well is like very important. Yeah, rather than just like, oh, I printed out the notes, like, oh, I packed the logistics, stuff like that.
Boss point of view.
I think it's always good that at the start of the internship, I think there's always a needful conversation between the intern or whoever is supervising you or mentoring you to have a conversation about what are your goals for the internship. Yeah, so that whatever task, right, I assign to you, I'm also thinking about what kind of growth that you can get out from completing this task or this project. So I think it's an important conversation to have. If you don't have, you can initiate with the mentor, so that I think then it's better aligned on what this internship is about. Yeah.
Maybe just one. Is there one like warning sign, like really you should just get out of this internship? Is there any of the top of your mind?
Oh.
Like ask you to OT until 2 a.m.
Oh,
Like,
2 a.m.
Oh,
I don't know, like then
Just sit in office already.
or they ask you like can you go without pay, or they don't give you your pay, like they're overdue. Like is there a warning sign so that the Gen Z who are tuning in can like watch out for some of these things?
Yeah, I would think that most Gen Zs these days are more able to speak up for themselves, if you feel that certain boundaries are being crossed over. But I think it's still good for some who are maybe not so vocal and outspoken to know that there are boundaries that you can make known. I mean, I can understand some industry that really, I think those like design industry and so on, sometimes they can really go into really late at night, past 12 midnight and so on. And sometimes I can understand that that may be the need of the work then. But I think I think there must be some boundaries where if you are really uncomfortable or you think that this is beyond me, I've already done it for one night. Cannot be doing it for the rest of the week. I think it's time to speak up that I do need some rest, or I do need some time off, and to be able to and speak that to whoever is over you lah. And then be open to hear what they say. I mean, if this is the reality of the industry, right? When you're in, then it also tell you some information that is this what you can do really in the long run in such an industry.
So I think communication is very important to understand. Yeah, I mean that's what internship is for, right? Like to know the real side of the industry and the career or the industry that you go into. Like it may not be all ideal, like oh it's gonna be great, but there is a lot of things that for you to know and then for you to
I
decide.
think
as
maybe
well.
just add on a little bit. I think sometimes some of these boundaries, maybe if you're first time internship or you never had working experience, you might not really be aware of this boundary. I tell you one experience my wife had, right? This was when she first went into her first work. Yeah, and prior to that she didn't have any work experience. Then this the boss of a language center asked her, can you travel with me overseas? Yeah, to go and do more business in another country. So it's a bit weird why the boss asked me to travel with him. So of course, she was feeling uncomfortable. But at that time, I think as a person new at the workplace, she was having this struggle. Should she speak up? Should she say no, or should she even consider this? So, but on hindsight, now she shares with poly students that she teaches that she should speak up, and they should speak up as well. If you feel that something I'm not comfortable about, be ready to say no. I'm not going to do this because I'm not comfortable with this. Just let your boss know. Yeah.
Thank you so much. We have really talked quite a lot about red flags, green flags, and there's some of the interesting stories about internship. But actually, at the end of the day, right, everyone is a bit different. What we want out of our internship is also different, and every company policy, culture, and the way that we supervise our intern, they are all different. So it's not really about figuring it out, but it's really learning along the way, making mistakes, building confidence, and then gaining experience. So, to close things out on a reflective note, what is one piece of advice you will give to the Gen Zs who are currently interns or they are considering to be interns? Is there a one piece of advice?
I think for me, something very short and simple is just to take initiative, to ask your supervisor, or to even like do things. Yeah, because I think that will be very helpful on both ends.
I think for me is for the intern, always understand why you're doing what you're doing, so that when the internship ends, you are proud of what you've done lah. Yeah.
For me, I think be open to learn to work with different people. I think in the workplace now we have many generations, some that know about 3, some that even 4 generations. And every generation just have some slightly different work values. So I think to be able to open to know that it's not necessary that those old values are bad or outdated. It's just different. But I think understanding different perspective will help a lot lah for the whole internship to be meaningful and productive.
Alright. Thank you, everybody. And this wraps up. So,
Yeah.
if you enjoyed today's chaos, stick around for our next episode and our workshop on how to decode how Gen Z view
I
the
don't know for you, I don't know
workforce.
One year.
Okay, details in our IG.
Yes, follow us at acon_class.
Yay! See you. Bye.